Welcome everybody. Really excited to see everybody at our Forza One North online training program, and just inspired to see that you're committed to improving yourself as an athlete, and really putting in that extra time to train your skills and build your game. Our season's going to be on its way back before we know it, and we want to be better, we want to be stronger, smarter, and more technical in our game. So thanks for joining us, and welcome Aaron and Morgan.
Yeah, thanks for coming to the class every day. Just really talk to your teammates. Those of you that were logged into our first class, we saw everyone in there. That was awesome. Great amount of numbers of people in there. Just talk to your teammates, encourage them to sign up. Make sure that they request to be added into the page, and we'd love to have every single player here for the rest of the week.
Yeah, I think, guys, one of the things is this is such a great opportunity. When I started playing club, I was like 10 or 11. I lived like 3 hours away from my club, and most of what I had to do was just stuff at home, and so I'm actually really excited about this because it's, even though we're in the gym right now, be creative, do some different stuff at home and kind of figure out what works for you. But let's try to get all these drills in. There's probably a place where you can find a way to do it. You can make it work. I was always able to do it at home without really the benefit of a lot of instruction. So this is like really exciting that you're getting great coaches every day. There's going to be different coaches doing different sessions, and they're going to talk about things in a different way. And it's all about you being able to use the information and go out there and get better. Spend this time. You're not in school. Spend this time to get better. Be an athlete. Eat better, work out. We're going to be workout opportunities, yoga opportunities, like all this stuff that you guys can use to get better. And then let's make it a goal that when we come back, when players come back, we are not behind. We're better as individual athletes, and we can be better as a team when we come back, because it's going to be shorter than you think. Okay, before you know it, everybody's going to be back in the gym, and it's going to be great.
And we really just want to make this fun. So after the workout, if you want to film yourself doing one of the exercises and send it in, or hashtag Forza One Volleyball, or hashtag Volley On together, that'd be awesome. So let's make it interactive. All right, let's get to
it. Stephanie, come on out. So again, I'm Morgan Coverly. I'm our Director of Education here with volleyball at Forza One North, and I coach at a lot of different levels. I'm our 12 UA head coach, our 16 UA head coach. I assist our 18 UA. I'm also a college coach. So a lot of these drills, I think, are drills that it can start at a really low level or a younger level and get to a high point, and they're still great, and you can still kind of adapt within the drill and challenge yourself. This is Stephanie. She's one of our 14 UA setters. She's going to help us today. And session one was about hand development for setting. We're going to change our skills kind of as we go today. So Stephanie sets and hits for her team, and we're going to break down hitting. We'll do different sessions kind of every day with different parts of the skill. It's not going to be just, hey, now we're just hitting. Right, we're going to really break it down. We only have 20 minutes here. So today's session with hitting, we're going to kind of go in reverse order. Is going to be all about hand-to-ball contact or snap, right? Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're not even going to use a ball, okay? We're going to take the ball away, and I'm going to grab. You actually might not have these at home right now, but these are just paper towels. Kleenex. Kleenex is great because as you're doing this exercise, you can tear the Kleenex, okay? But find paper. There's going to be something that you can find, okay? Stephanie, get down. Okay, so we're going to start right now with Stephanie's arm, elbow already back, so this is just arm development, okay? And she's going to kind of condense that a little bit, and all we're working on is the snap of the wrist here. So she's going to go pretty quickly through this. Go ahead. And I don't even want, as you guys are doing this at home, hopefully we'll give you a little time, make sure you grab something. We'll do this for a little while, make sure that you have something. It could be anything. You could get a pillow, you could get any washcloth, anything like that, okay? It's a little more fun with some sort of paper, because even if you get quicker with it and get a little bit better with it, you can actually tear the paper and you can kind of know, all right, hey, I'm getting better at it, I'm getting faster at it. So I want her to kind of go a little bit faster here. We hear that popping. Good, but I don't want there to be a full swing yet. So actually I want it more like here, okay? So this is just wrist snap. Good, and the paper kind of goes up and gets stuck. Just stop it and do this. Okay, so you can see she's getting that kind of that popping motion with her hand and wrist. She's keeping her hand big, but not stiff. All right, we want her hand to be, hand and wrist to be kind of loose and floppy. We'll talk about how we're creating top spin on the ball later. There's some kind of misperceptions about that we'll talk about. But you don't want your hand to be rigid. And a lot of times, as you're doing this, you guys can still be doing this and listening at home. We're going to have a progression here in a second. But if I'm rigid in one body part, a lot of times I'm rigid in another body part. So, you know, if I'm trying to muscle the ball when I'm hitting, and my wrist is really stiff, a lot of times your shoulder is really stiff too. And the shoulder's function with hitting is more about follow through. We're going to talk about that more so in later sessions. Okay, but right now it's just kind of focus on, hey, my hand is big, but not tight, not rigid. We're staying nice and loose. Okay, so now we're gonna add a little bit more of a swing. So I want her to develop her arm, elbow back, and now she can go a little slower, but the focus is not on what her arm is doing, it's really on what her wrist is doing. So you can almost hear it, right? If you guys are doing this at home, if I'm stiff, you're not getting it opposed to here, where I'm getting a pop to it, okay? That's important. And we should probably hear that and see that. There. Okay. So that was better right there. Okay. So her arms develop there, but she's still focused on the wrist, and you can hear it. So my paper is like a good way to do it. Okay. Great. We didn't even need a ball there, but we're going to use one now. You guys have siblings at home. We have a lot of siblings that play in the club. Like, do this together, right? Take turns with it. Okay, so now she's going to do an individual hand-to-ball exercise. You can do this with right hand, left hand. There's different ways to challenge yourself here. But what she's going to do to start is she's just going to kind of undercut the ball. And she's going to get some height on it. What we don't really want to see is kind of like this. Okay, we want a little bit more height with it. Okay, so she's gonna go, if she can keep it going, we wanna keep it going. If she needs to catch it, she can catch it. Same with you guys at home. This motion is still the same motion as this motion. So it's just a different way to kind of achieve wrist snap, wrist control, hand-to-ball contact, okay? And we should hear it, okay? So let's see here. Okay. So she's hitting it off the palm of her hand, right? You're gonna hear that thud opposed to that pop. That's what we're looking for here. Thud, thud. So we're trying to get more on the palm of our hand here. Not the heel of our hand. Palm of our hand, not the heel of our hand. Okay, so look, if we're struggling, it's harder than it looks, right? So if you're struggling with it a little bit, try it just to get that sound. Like, I'm not hitting it super high. As you get better with it, you might be able to really get it up there. So let's try to shorten it a little bit, Steph, so we can have some success. We can hear that pop. Pop, slap, slap, slap. There we go. That's it, that's it, that's it. Good. Okay. So, you know, you guys are doing this. You could go up to 50 reps. 20 to 50 reps is probably pretty good. You should have given yourself time to probably do that right now. And again, guys, make sure this is interactive. That you have a ball with you, you're doing it. It's not really about watching it. Watching it is great. You're getting good instruction. You're seeing how it's done with a good player, still a young player, but a good player. But you guys should be doing this. You guys should be doing this at home with us, right? Okay, the next stage that we're gonna do is the same thing, but now she's gonna go over the top. This is truer to the motion of hitting, okay? Or at least in terms of hand-to-ball contact, but I think it's actually harder to do. So she's gonna try to do the same thing, try to keep it going, or try to catch it if she can't keep it going. And again, if it's like I can't keep it going, just go to yourself once, do it well, catch it. And if we hear thuds, we know we don't have good hand-ball contact. So this is, hold on, Steph. This is what a lot of you are gonna do, okay? Is try to hit it off the heel of your hand to get height on it. You know, here, right? Open palm, again, stay loose, big hand, okay? It's not, even though we're hitting up right now, it's not this motion, it's not the heel of your hand and up. We're still making contact on, you know, the bottom and turning it over to the side of the ball. So we're creating some spin. Let's see a couple more here. There, we're getting the sound we want, that's better right there. Good, and don't even look at it, and don't even like look at it in terms of, hey, did I control it, right? Do it in terms of, does it sound right? Okay, that's gonna be when you have good hand-to-ball contact, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna know when it's thud, thud, thud. That's bad hand-to-ball contact, but you can keep it going. That's not really what we're trying to achieve here. Okay, so again, try to get 20 to 50 reps. Okay, so we've gone low, we've gone high, we've done the short, quick wrist with the paper. We've done a full swing, focusing again on the hand-to-ball element of it. Okay, so now we're gonna partner up. Head down there, Steph. Okay, we're gonna talk a little bit about arm development. Again, there's a lot of components to hitting. Even though it happens really quick and it's really dynamic, there's a lot of components to it. So what we're gonna start with here is, I'm not gonna develop my arm. My arm is basically gonna be right here. Okay, I'm going to toss to myself and I'm going to snap and I'm going to kick with the same leg. Okay, this is engaging the core, right? You're not going to really kick when you're hitting, but it's kind of allowing us to focus on here, core development and just the snap of the wrist over the ball, not arm development. So what I want less there, Steph, is really try to make it just a wrist motion. Here. Okay. Kick, and we're engaging the core. Good. And so I don't want like this. I'm kicking for nothing. You're trying to create this V in your body, so you're focusing on, hey, what is my finish here? And anytime we're finishing, when we're attacking the ball, we want to engage in the core. So this is just kind of a little exercise with it. Because you know what? Here's what happens a lot of times. If there's any of our boy players that are watching, I always see this with guys more than girls, but even with girls, sometimes we're warming up our arms and it gets really sloppy. We're kind of doing this stuff, and it's not really realistic. It's like we should be using this opportunity to like train. But so often when we're peppering or we're just bouncing the ball, we're kind of warming up our arm, but we're not training our arm. And it's so opposite of what you're gonna want to do in a game, right? So anything we're doing when we're warming up, before we play, or training, like see it all as something that you're gonna do when you actually get out on the court. Okay, the next stage, actually, let me see one more step. Just do it one more time. Using the core, excellent. And you can hear that snap now. You can hear that the good hand-to-ball contact. You hear it, you'll know you'll get it right. Contrary to what a lot of people will say, the actual snap of the ball doesn't really necessarily create topspin. Like I can have my wrist in a fixed position and hit, and I'm not snapping. Okay, it's more about like how I'm turning the ball over or where I'm hitting the ball to do it. But again, we don't want our wrist rigid, okay? We're gonna end up hitting as we get better different parts of the ball, different angles, and you want some flex in your wrist. You wanna keep it big, again, but loose. Okay, so now we've had a chance to do, 10 to 15 reps here with the kicking. We're gonna add to this, I'll take the ball step. Okay, now we're gonna give ourselves some change of body position or just arm development. Okay, so we're gonna kind of turn away. So Steph will turn that way, I'll turn this way. I'm gonna toss with 2 hands. I like a 2-hand toss on a lot of these. I know earlier we didn't have the arm development, so I tossed with 1. I like 2-hand toss because you're kind of simulating lift with your arms. Again, I'm not gonna do this because when we're hitting, we're not gonna have a double upswing. It's gonna allow, or it's not gonna really allow our arm to get back in a realistic time to be able to hit. So I'm gonna be open here. As I'm tossing, my arms are already gonna be back. Okay, here and back. Steph, you got it? Okay, we're not gonna fall through on this right now. I'm just gonna toss, elbows back, arms developed, okay? And a fall through just with the snap. Here. And you guys can, like, to make this tougher, let's just make it tougher on ourselves here, Steph, is our goal is gonna be, try to hit it 3 feet so it bounces 3 feet in front of our partner, okay? All right, it's gonna happen. You don't have to hit crazy hard here. It's more about again, hand-to-ball contact. Okay, if we want here, we can do the same thing, but we can hit at our partner's chest. So these are all things that you can do right now if this is like easy and just a no-brainer for you. Again, make sure this is clean though. You're not dropping my elbow. I'm not doing this stuff just to kind of get through it. Spend this time to make sure that you're doing it the right way, okay? So we'll try now, make it a little bit more challenging, and I'm trying to put it in my partner's chest. So, but what we don't want to do is be so careful that we lose hand-ball contact, right? We want to make sure I still have that sound, we're still turning the ball over. Okay, that's good right now, and we can add to this. We're not going to hit right now over the net. Most people aren't going to have a chance to do this. If you wanted to add to your approach and hit and just work on a snap. If you want just a target, if we wanted to put a trash can down or something like that and aim for a target, but make sure as we're going through this that again we're maintaining that loose wrist and really focus on the sound. It's really one of the best ways to know if you're doing it right or wrong. Don't necessarily look at it as, do I have topspin? Because I can do a lot of wrong things with topspin. I can do that where I'm dropping my elbow, coming up through the ball. There's a lot of ways I can do it wrong just to achieve topspin. Like, that sound is really critical. Okay, so we've given you some good exercises here to just focus on hand-to-ball contact. Really, it's such a critical part of hitting, especially for like a lot of the young players, where you don't need to focus on hitting hard right now. If you could just create topspin and you could just get the ball to go down, especially if you're small and you're not hitting down, you're not a big kid that's already just crushing the ball down. Topspin is your best way to get the ball to drop. So if you're hitting as high as you can and you have good hand-to-ball contact and you can get the ball to go down, you're probably never gonna lose that, right? But if we're always kind of just trying to like hit down and everything's stiff, or we're trying to hit hard, you'll lose a lot of the good hand-to-ball contact. And even, some of you players that are older in the 16s, 17s, 18s age group, so many of the errors that come from attacking come from bad hand-to-ball contact. We just mishit it and the ball's floating out of bounds. A lot of that's going to have to do with your feet, which we'll talk about later. Coming sessions, the next couple days, we'll talk more about rotation and flexion, how your core and your hips are going to affect attacking. But a lot of useful exercises that you guys can do and get a ton of reps with this. don't just do it during this 20-minute session. Try to get as many touches as you can. You guys will have all this stuff at your disposal, some little drills that maybe you haven't thought of, and I can do all this at home. Try to, I told the setters in the last one, try to get 500 reps of what we were working on. Hey, try to get another 500 here bouncing against the wall. Might drive your parents crazy, okay, but at least you're being active, you're getting better, and when we get back in the gym, everybody's back in the gym, you're not gonna have to start over, you can actually be better at a skill, okay, so really important. All right, that's it for our wrist snap and handball contact. Steph, great job, thank you very much. Okay, we will see you guys shortly for our session 3 for today. All right, thank you.